Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. So inner peace, that's what we're going to be working on today. Trying to get that sense of peace inward, internal peace, even though the world outside can be quite messy, chaotic, loud. The only place we really can cultivate that inner peace or peace is really internally. And it's hard because there's a lot of stuff happening in there. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of old wounds and new wounds and triggers that without being aware, you're going to be picking up people's vibes, the vibes from outside. So there's a lot of work involved in maintaining inner peace. Believe you me, I know what that feels like. So today we'll be working on that. We'll be doing a combination of what we've been talking about is the active stretching or mobility, but I'll call it active stretching, and the passive. So the active where we're not using the support of our arms, we're having to kind of recruit other muscles to help us, but also the passive where we're providing that extra support. Both are equally as beneficial. So they're both needed, in other words. So we're going to start with sitting. Make sure you're comfortable here, because we are here for a little bit. So you might have to make sure that you're sitting on a cushion or a block or something that's going to be okay for you to sit. If you're finding it difficult, you can grab a chair if it's too much. We're all different. We all have different things going on in our bodies. So we're just going to sit here for a moment, close the eyes. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your head over your pelvis. Just making a note, maybe how difficult it is, especially when you first sit down. To sit like this, without the support of anything. You're just sitting on a mat. And it should be easy, but it isn't really, because there's a lot of things, a lot of muscles that are working really hard to keep you upright. Let's start to deepen the breath. Silently, you hear it. Maybe it's not so silent. And let's let the breath flow in. When I mean silent, all the work that's occurring in your body to keep you like in this shape. Just every time you inhale, there's a lengthening of the spine. There's a little bit of a rock going on here, a little bit of a lift and a lower. A stretching and a relaxing. So this motion is like a wave, up and down, in and out. Relaxing and calming. Let's gently open the eyes, and we're going to be bringing our arms in front. And we're going to take the right arm under the left, eagle arm. So this eagle arm is a supportive eagle arm. So it's a passive stretch. We're going to circle. We're going to bring the elbows to the right, over to the right, and then circle all the way around. So we're counterclockwising. And you're making these circles the size that works for you, up, around, as if you're steering a boat, big ship. And then let's reverse those circles. So going in the other direction. So we can hold this a lot longer than when we did the eagle arms without the twisting and the holding of the arms. It was just a whole different situation, right? Come back to stillness. Let's just uncross those arms. Let the hands rest on the knees. Sit up tall again. Take a breath in and feel it. And out. So feeling into the bodies, what's happening, what's changed. The tingling of the arms. The relaxation of the shoulders, the upper back. And then gently open the eyes. We're going to do the other side, but just change the cross of the legs. So we're not always in one kind of cross. Reach the arms forward again. Now this time left arm crosses under the right. And we twist those arms. And we start with the left elbow down to the side, down to the left, and then circle all the way around, clockwise. Let the eyes gently close as you feel this gentle steering of your ship or your boat. Maybe it's a smaller boat. Ship's too big. And then let's reverse these circles. So cultivating inner peace as we make these circles. And then let's come back to center. Uncross those arms. Let the hands rest back on the thighs. Close the eyes. Feeling in. Inhale. And exhale. Gently open the eyes. And we're going to change the cross again. So we're still sitting. If sitting cross-legged is too much, you can sit on your heels if that feels better, with the block underneath you. So the next thing we're going to do is a Dao Yin flow. So you're going to take your right hand, reach it out to the right side. Soften the hands, the elbows, as if you're kind of pressing into that wall. And the left hand is bent, but its left arm is bent, with the palms always facing out. So you're going to keep the left hand arm as is. It's not going to change. You're going to look over your left shoulder. And then as you spin just that right hand, leave that left hand as is, you're going to spin the palm so that you look at it and turn your head to look at that palm and bring it in as if you're going to talk to the hand, the phone. And then press that right hand away and turn and look to the left. And then do this again. Spin the right palm, turn your head looking at that palm, bend the elbow. And then press away. With ease, float like a butterfly. Spin the palm, looking towards it. So let's keep going. Make this yours, make it as graceful, floating, graceful, just like Muhammad Ali. Let the breath inhaling, either one, either you choose when you want to inhale, when you want to exhale. So for Dao Yin, we tend to exhale through the mouth. Always inhale through the nose. Let's do one more. So this is an active stretch because we're not supporting our arms. We're just pushing and breaking it back. So we have to use muscles, different muscles to help. Place your hands on your knees. Close the eyes, feeling in, breathing in. So you're feeling into that, especially that right arm. Gently open the eyes, and we're going to change the cross again. Last change of the legs. This time, left hand reaches out to the left side. Soften the elbow, the fingers. Right hand is just here. It's like it's just there to support the left hand, emotional support. And then you could turn and look over your right shoulder. And then as you spin that left palm to face you, you bring that hand in, you're going to turn your head and look at it as if you're going to speak to it, and then push away and turn your head. So do a few of these and start to include breath. Inhaling, turn, exhaling. So you find the rhythm of your breath with the movement of the arm. You could do this with closed eyes. You don't have to keep them open. I like to keep them open, just to learn how to maintain inner quiet with the eyes open. Let's do it one more time, and then release the arms down. That can get tiring, can't it? And then take your shoulders and lift your shoulders up and roll them back. And lift the shoulders up and roll them back. Inner peace. Do a few little sways of the head from side to side, loosening up those muscles. Getting rid of all the stress we carry on those shoulders. And then gently coming back to stillness. Let's transition onto our bottoms. You can keep the support on your bottom if you find that you cannot sit tall extend your feet forward. If you find your back, you're rounding, you could bend the knees and stay tall, or you can sit on a blanket. Because we're going to be here for a little bit. And soft, make sure the knees are soft even if you don't need them to be. And we're going to do a little flow. So what we're going to do is the arms are just following. So we're going to come forward. And then we're going to round the spine, so the ragdoll roll. And then we're going to lift up nice and tall. And then we're going to just let the hands float next to your side, either the legs, and then roll back. It's as if you're rowing a boat. Somehow we're into boats today. And make this yours. So again, this is an active stretch. No support, no holding, just moving. Let's do a few of these. Make this yours. One more time. The next time you're going to lift up and just pause for a moment in Tadasana, just like it's Tadasana but seated. Close the eyes. I want you to feel it. Inhale. Exhale. And then let's come all the way forward. This time we're stretching passive stretch. Take your hands, it can be on your feet. If you feel like if you need a strap, feel free to strap up. Let's pause here in a forward fold. So both are beneficial. Let the head drop, breathing in. Breathing out. Inner peace, and then gently lift yourself up. Once you've lifted, roll the shoulders back and down and bring your hands behind your hips. Fingers pointing forward towards your bottom or out to the sides if this doesn't feel good on your wrist. Bend the knees, feet flat on the ground. we're going to do a few sets of inhaling, arching the back, keep your bottom on the ground, and exhale, rounding the back, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift, open up that chest. So this is obviously a supported stretch because we're using our hands to lift and push, and we can go a little bit deeper. Feels always prefer the supported all the time, but they both are necessary. Bend and straighten. So we exhale as we round and bend the elbows, squeeze them in towards each other. Then inhale, lift the chest, straighten the arms. So we're now going to bend the elbows. Just pause here for a moment. Squeeze elbows in towards each other. Then take an inhale, lift your bottom off the ground, straighten those arms, and then come all the way up into the modified version of the upward plank. Lift your hips up. Squeeze the shoulders slightly towards each other, shoulder blades. Press into the ground with those hands, just like as if you were doing a plank. And breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe hips come a little bit higher. Press into the ground, and then lower your bottom down. And as you lower your bottom down, slide the bottom between those hands and walk your feet in. Let's wrap your arms around the shins, get a nice little stretch here. And just take a few little breaths here, inhaling, lifting up through the back, and then exhaling. There's a little bit of a rounding going on here. And inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. So when I say lower, it's a rounding. One more time, inhale, lift up tall, release the hands, and let's come on to hands and knees. And from hands and knees, just curl the toes under, press into an active child's pose. So you're not resting here, you're just pushing into the feet, getting stretching out those feet, those hands. And then gently lift up onto all fours, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, just feeling in. Do what feels good in this dog. Cultivating peace, inner peace, even if something's hard to do. Let's take one more deep breath in, and we're going to walk to the middle of the mat. And we're going to turn the bodies to any side of the long end of the mat. Either one, because we're only staying on one. So whichever one works for you, you prefer. And let's come into a forward bend with the opposite hand, opposite elbow, cradling those elbows. So remember that this is not, when we have our hands on the ground or on blocks, it's more of a supported forward bend. This is where it's less supported because our arms are just dangling towards the ground. Back has to work a little harder. You can sway. And then from here, bend the knees, and you can release the hands from the elbows. Let's ease ourselves up to standing, into Tadasana. Once you've reached up nice and tall, let the arms dangle next to the sides. Just spin the palms forward. Take a pause here. So just standing, lengthening through the tailbone, you're needing to do a lot of work. Body is your muscles around the spine, your oblique muscles, everything's working a little harder. And then from here, we're going to do just the gentle arms, where we float the arms out to the sides, and let the hands, the elbows bend as if your hands are clouds and little droplets of rain are dropping towards the ground. And then inhale, reach up, and then let the arms, hands just go. Cultivating inner peace. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling, arms release down. So with Dao Yin, Tai Chi, all those types of practices, there's not a lot of supported types of, or passive types of stretches. It's mainly active. Interesting, isn't it? Fascinating. And then bring the hands down to your sides. And we're going to bring the arms into a cactus shape arms. And we're going to open up the chest. I'll just swing to the side so you can see. We're going to bend those knees and we're going to round the back. And bring the hands together as if you're going to place your head in your hands. And then inhale, open up. See? There's no touching of the hands. They're just coming forward and back. Let's do a few of these. Inhale. That's why we often feel very achy after we do Dao Yin or Qigong, because we're not really resting in those stretchy poses. Let's open and round and open. And there's a repetition. Lots and lots of repetition of the same movement, so you can see how you build up strength and mobility and shoulders and hips and all those. And then come back up. Release the arms to the sides. And then open the feet a little bit wider, so now they're, well, actually keep the feet hip distance, or it's really shoulder distance. And we're going to do some taps. So you're going to let your arms just dangle next to your sides. We'll just lift the heels off the ground. And you can start off slow. Make sure the knees are bent. There's a bend to the knees. And then just tap, and the arms are doing their thing, shaking. And you're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Now I'm going to actually bring my heels down, and I'm going to do it without the heel. I'm going to still shake, but keep the heels down. Just because I have to do a class after this. And I always feel it after. So you can do either one. And I want you to really shake the arms. Shake, shake, shake. And inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. As you exhale, stop. Stand tall. Feel in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inner peace. For a moment there, our body was quite chaotic, was extremely active. But that shaking reduces the stress in the body. It kind of disperses it. Let's open the feet a little bit wider now. Knees are bent. And we're going to twist. So let our arms start to tap, especially around the bottom, the kidneys. And you're going to swing. And as you start to build up momentum, you look over your shoulders, opposite shoulders. And we're staying right now around the kidney area. And you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. You can go faster than me. You can go slower. Tap, tap, tap. Inhaling, exhaling. Now bring the arms higher. Start to tap the right just below the chest, the rib cage. Remember, this is all important for the organs. And then let's go tap the back of your shoulders. And then the chest. just little tiny fists. Be very careful here. I don't want you to punch yourself. There's just taps. A little bit more forceful. Thyroid. And finally, let's just slow the momentum down. Come back to stillness. Close the eyes. Let yourself feel. Oh, that feels so nice. Inner stillness, inner peace. So gently open the eyes, and then let's bring the arms up to the sky and take one hand in front of the other, either one. That's not the important thing. Reach up. We're going to come into a gentle little back bend, and then we're going to bend the knees. You can widen the legs if you like. I'm going to actually go a little wider. And let the hands just drop to the ground. I don't want you to even touch the ground. And then make sure the knees are bent, lift back up. So you could see no support here. You're just letting the body float forward. So we're not stopping and holding onto our ankles and stretching. We're stretching actively, lifting up, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Sometimes much harder, not as fun. For me anyway. I want to hold my ankles. I'm dying to stretch. Well, I have to get used to this as well. And we're going to do one more. Come all the way down to the ground. This time, your hands can touch the ground. You can grab hold of your ankles, your big toes, anything that you feel like doing. Take an inhale, and then exhale, stretch. Draw your chest between those legs. Let your head drop towards the ground. Look behind you, breathing in. And out. Whew. I can feel the shaking of my legs. Wild. So when we were doing those lifts and lowers, the muscles on our legs had to work extra hard. Come onto your knees and then transition onto your right hip. Now you're going to have the option here of coming onto your backs into your Shavasana, doing all the stretches that you would like, and then doing your Shavasana for about 2 to 5 minutes, or maybe even more, or coming into your cross-legged seat. I'm going to leave this latter part of the class to you. What you need, what you not need, what you want, what you desire. Inner peace has to also be, part of that is that you're following your heart. You're not doing just what you're being told. So take the last part of this class and make it yours. As I sit here for the next few moments in my cross-legged seat, let the breath begin to settle for everyone, back to its natural rhythm. I'll let you know when I'm ready to come out. As I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, I hope you enjoyed it, that you're feeling relaxed, Thank you so much. Namaste.